It is pretty nippy out here, but we're gonna go potty. All right, boys, so we made it and we got the wheels, and now we are gonna GPS the home base. That's the hope, anyway. Like I said, we're gonna go get new tires next week. I knew something felt off. Look at that thing. Well, time to put a tire on. Get back in the car. Fixing that problem. It is what it is. All right, guys, so we are taking the CD5 on a road trip tomorrow to go pick up nice new wheels. Now, if you guys don't remember, we did the video on the Canon exhaust. You guys remember how like way out of place it was? Now it's crooked right now because I'm doing some work under there. But if you guys didn't see the one video, we put two absolutely giant Canons here. I'm welding a washer right now to that so that this exhaust hanger can't go past that point, because what was ended up happening was that without that washer there, if I take a hard corner, the exhaust will push itself over in the exhaust hanger, and then it would start to rattle. So we took care of that. I'm doing that now, and then I cut, you guys can see right there, and I cut off of the flange. Now with doing that, what I did was when I cut that, I cut it off the flange, twisted it counterclockwise a couple of degrees, enough to get it to angle down, which now gave me enough clearance to clear the control arm, because if you guys remember, this exhaust system was hitting the control arm when I got it, and it was just pissing me off. All right, so I did that, and then I came over here, and we lined it up with a jack stand. Keep in mind, it's crooked right now because it's off, but I put 2 fingers here, 2 fingers here, and it's even on both sides. And I was like, okay, cool. So I threw a bunch of tack welds around it, pulled it off, welded it all out, and then we did exhaust hangers. You can see those nice pretty things there. I cut them off the top. So pretty much how far we went was these are supposed to be like here and here. So we definitely moved it this way a little bit. So doing that, it sits straight. So I'm gonna get this thing put back on. I just didn't want to leave you guys in the dark forever. I'm just waiting on this to cool down. I'm not painting any of the exhaust yet until I know 100% that it's done, but that rattle was bugging me and I was wondering why it was doing it. I also got to hang up the O2 sensor wiring. It's up there. But what I didn't show you guys was I pulled off all of this right here. So get rid of the heat shielding because it causes a problem over time. It rusts, it holds more rust. And this is a pretty rust-free car. I think this is about the only damage. We are gonna get that fixed one day. It is going in for window tint on the 18th of next month. So we have a 5% tint scheduled. And I know this windshield's cracked. We're not gonna replace this for probably another year or so. I could give a shit about that. So it's gonna be tinted about halfway down on the brow with 5%. So I'm gonna get this exhaust back installed, and I gave you guys the option of voting on a Canon of what we're gonna go with. Put your comments down below. What muffler do you guys want me to replace this one with? Because I was gonna order, and I spent so much time digging and trying to dig and figure out which exhaust would be the best, and honestly, I can't decide. I want a Canon, but I want the angled tip as well. So, and it's gonna be black. I'm just gonna paint it with that black paint that we have. Yeah, we're gonna use this stuff here to paint the entire exhaust, which I think will give it a nice look. And then those wheels we're getting tomorrow, which you guys will see in this video, but we're gonna get those painted as well because they're kind of fucked, but they're the original wheels off of the car that I was looking for. I've been looking for these wheels forever. I still have no idea what they're called, so I can't even order them new. But for 300 bucks and a 9-hour round trip, I think we're gonna do all right. I already got the lug nuts. They're coming in today from Amazon. I overnighted them. So they will be here today, and we will see how this goes. I'm gonna bring a jack, impact, torque wrench, the whole 9 yards, and probably some wrench sets just in case something breaks, but fingers crossed we have a good trip. All right, so I wasn't just gonna leave it there. I actually came under here and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna add the other hanger just in case. So I added that there. You guys can see little dimes. So now, if this thing wants to wiggle, that should be perfect. And then this one down here, it always wants to travel down and come this way. So that's where that'll stop that. If this one becomes a problem, I can always pull that off and weld a nub to it, which I didn't even think about it. I forgot. I can take that whole thing off. So I might actually just do that real quick. So that way that nub stays exactly where I want. Because I'm still waiting on Josh to get here. We're going to be doing his Sequoia exhaust today, which will be another video, but that's a whole 3-inch kit. So what we'll do is we'll come over here. I didn't realize the first 5 minutes of this video was going to be me welding on the Honda, but I got to give you guys an update. So there you go. What we're going to do, that's where I want it. I'm going to put a tab here, and on the other side, a tab there. So that way I know where to weld something. So I'm going to weld this washer right here so it can't go any further, and then I'm going to put a little bit of weld on the end so that it has a nub, because remember we cut this off because it wasn't matching with our factory system. So a couple of welds, clean it up with the grinder, and we'll go from there. All right, she's a little ugly, but we got some nub welded on the end, and then we got a washer. So like I said, we're not going to paint any of this until I know that everything's good, and then we'll pull everything off down the road. But for now, it's ugly, but it'll work. And we're done. Can't go that far. Got a nub welded there. Got that guy welded there. Got those welded there. And we now have a full exhaust. Now, if for some reason everything I just did made the canister a little crooked, I'm not worried about it, because you guys are going to pick what I'm going to run next. What muffler do you guys want on here that's still technically a can? You guys can give me any suggestions, to be honest. But I want to make sure. I'd like to do a Canon, but there we go. Give her a good shake. I did make it a little high, but as you guys can see, 2 fingers, 2 fingers. It is perfectly centered. So that's the exhaust. It sits way fucking better than it did. This bumper is going to get cleaned off, and then this trunk, this is into the paint. So we're going to get this trunk and bumper painted black, and we're slowly going to start making this thing black. Hood, fenders, that fender needs replaced. This door needs replaced. That door needs replaced. So slow and steady, we got to find rust-free parts. But let's get into the road trip. We're going to grab these wheels. All right, so before we go on this trip, exhaust is done, everything's done and good. This was just a hose facing up and it was leaking. So we're gonna throw that in there. Inspector. And now we have 2 filters. Now keep in mind that's a temporary, it's gonna have a catch can. We're getting rid of that whole fucking box right there. That whole thing's going away, that's where a catch can's going.
Purple thing.
Oh, purple thing.
Yeah, the Freightliner. God, I love Freightliner.
Yeah. So, get that done. This is going in the trunk very soon. Very soon. And we're going to upgrade all the wiring, the 0 gauge, all that shit. But I'll see you guys in the snowstorm tomorrow. All right, so we just went through the cache. Gave me 20s. We got 4.5 hours to get there, and we got a major winter storm. They said it's already getting ugly up there. But that's not going to stop me, because I'm not worried about it. We also got the dog. We got a bunch of blankets and shit back there just in case I want to sleep. And I got about 600 milligrams of caffeine in a pre-workout. So, filling her up now. About 300 miles till we get there. So we should be able to easily get this tank and then a little bit back, and then I'll fill up on the way down. He did say the tires are not balanced because he started stripping the wheels. I am going to be getting a set of tires this week for this set of wheels. So you guys will see what we got, and then I will tell you guys what tires we're getting next week for these wheels, because we are not running no stretch tires on the Honda. That's not going to happen. I've never been a fan of that. Same thing with diesel trucks, but let's start moving, and I'll show you guys what the adventure looks like. All right, windy as shit. We're about 3 hours and 45 minutes into our trip. So I'm gonna take her potty. It is pretty nippy out here, but we're gonna go potty. I already went. Also went and got these nice, what do you call these things? Little magnet mounts. I got new lug nuts in here for the wheels, and I got an OBD2 to OBD1 connector harness, conversion harness, so that way we can run the new ECU, which will get rid of the check engine light. And then I just need to go get the part for the ABS light, but that thing is like 500 bucks. So I just haven't cared, but I really do miss having cruise control. No cruise in this car, unfortunately. because of that. But like I said, this should say 290 miles when we're there. So we got about roughly 84.3 miles to go. But I'm gonna take her potty and keep heading out. We're supposed to be getting some snow. He said it was getting bad up there at like 11. So it's now like 1, I think. Yeah, it's 12:51. So let's go let her out. You be smelling like farts. So I was told it was supposed to be bad. These are the roads. We have 12 minutes to go. I was told it was getting bad up here, and I don't know. I don't know who to believe anymore, because this ain't shit. We've got like 10 miles to go, and I really doubt we have a winter storm in 10 miles. Now, they do say we're gonna have more coming. Like, there's a big warning about this, like no empty trailers and commercial vehicle bans and this and that. So, I don't know. We'll see. Alright boys, so we made it and we got the wheels, and now we are gonna GPS the home base. Everything is slow right now for some reason. Come on. So I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I paid $300 for these wheels. I've been looking for them for a long while. They're not the prettiest thing in the world. They're definitely gonna need some cleaned up, but dude genuinely tried to give me money back for you know, coming out this whole distance, not haggling or anything like that. And I was like, no, just keep it. I'm super glad that this worked out. And someone actually met me. You know how Facebook Marketplace is. Dude was great, gave him 5 stars. I paid the full price, $300 cash. I did not take anything back. Appreciate you, man, because there is so many people on Marketplace that are just shitty. So we got there. We got about 4.5 hours till we get home. This winter storm is absolute bullshit. Let's get home. Look at that. So I am genuinely disappointed. I went to bed at like 4:30. I got up at 8. It is 8:34 now. Where's the snow that they promised us? I was hoping for some snow. My wife told me, no, don't go. It's gonna get bad. Where's the snow? It's annoying. I really wanted to drive in a little bit of snow. And yeah, so basically I drove in the salt for nothing, thinking that we were gonna get all this snow, and we didn't get shit. But the wheels are in the trunk, so there's that. All right, so we're about an hour and a half from home. Perfect spot for her to piss. But I found a Sheetz free air station, and because I was gonna go to the Sheetz by my house. So I'm gonna throw some gloves on, and we're gonna fill these tires up, and depending on how I feel, probably not gonna throw them on now, but like when I get closer to home, I wanna throw these things on and get it on video for you guys so that we can see the before and afters. All right, so keep in mind they're pretty ugly. We're gonna have to order all of these things here, and a couple of them are flat. So we're gonna get these things filled up real quick. And then, like I said, we're gonna be replacing these 195 4515s with something better. All right, so 3 of the rims had 0, 1 of them had 30. So we got them all full with 38. I don't think they have any leaks. I think he just drained all the air out because he was doing that thing to him, but just forgot to drain one. So that's the hope anyway. Like I said, we're gonna go get new tires next week. I've already got them working on pricing them out for me tomorrow, but she's going potty, and then we're gonna head out. It is freezing out there. Fuck that. I'm gonna drive probably another, I don't know, hour or so, find the next Sheetz, and then swap them out. So we are at the Sheetz now, and yeah, I'm gonna stop at the shop later. But I figured now is a good time. Look at that. It tells me that the trunk's open. But now is a good time to swap these out in the snow. So I'm going to do it now, and then we're going to drive it. I didn't want to just put them on at the shop because if I do that in there, it's like in the stone lot. I don't want to bring it in the shop and this and that. So we're just going to do it here. I'm going to throw some mittens on, and let's throw these wheels on. All right, so compared to these, they're definitely tiny as shit. And unfortunately, he stripped 2 lefts and not 2 rights. So I'm putting the more tread on this side, but you can see kind of the size difference. They're definitely a lot shorter. So we'll see what those 205s come out to. This one's gonna go in the back. So one side's gonna have the gold in the middle and one side not. We'll take care of that. This is this side. Like I said, they're gonna get bigger, meatier tires compared to this side. So It's a difference. All right, well, while she's going potty, I finally did it. They look aight. I'm happy with the wheels. I just need to get them painted and then also get a nice set of tires. So we're gonna get the prices for them tomorrow, but in the meantime, it's gonna look like a typical Civic. So I can definitely, the second I get in it, it feels already lower. And we'll have to take care of that. I don't want anything that's gonna rub, but at the same time, I also don't want them stretchy boy tires and them low pros. So we'll see. I think you guys will like what I chose. So generally on stock wheels, I'll torque these things down to like 80, maybe 85 if I'm feeling frisky, but on these aftermarket wheels, they're getting 90 foot-pounds. They actually, I'm surprised they're not riding near as bad as I thought they would with no balance on the entire left side. So I'm gonna get some pictures of it when we get back to the shop, get some clips of it, and hopefully the tires that I choose make up for the fact that you had to watch this ungodly video. All right, I knew we had a problem. We blew one out. So we're gonna have to put the stock wheels back on the back. The fronts are fine, but the rear left just completely went flat in general. So all that work to now we're gonna have to swap it out. I might just, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm probably just gonna put both back stockers back on. So it is what it is. Let's get back to work. I knew something felt off. Look at that fucking thing. Well, time to put a tire on. All right, so we got the back ones back on. That one's dead as shit, so get back in the car. You fuck. She listens very well. So, there you go, jack and tires and whatnot. Probably gonna take these off when I get up to the gas station because we gotta fill this thing up. So, let's get these fucking things back in here. Popped. One reason I don't like stretch tires. I was never planning on running them long term, so it is what it is. Throw the jack back. So we'll swap the other two out at the gas station up here, and then we'll just have these things hauled off to go get the new tires on and balanced and whatnot. I guess I'll paint them after the tires are on. It is what it is. I really wanted to run them for a little bit, but it is what it is. I was hoping that they'd hold air. I knew something felt weird. Luckily, it didn't explode or blow out. It just, I guess, popped off the bead. So, typical stretch tire. Don't like that, but let's get moving. All right, let's swap these fronts out. And I'm just going to leave these in the trunk because I know we're going to go get new ones this week. So, get these big fuckers out. And I'm just going to reuse my aftermarket lug nuts since these tires will probably be on here for a day. And then the stockers will be for sale, so probably just post them up for like 200 bucks, but we'll see. So I don't know if it's just a tire debeating problem. Maybe these tires are just that old that they debeated because of that. That tire's ruined now, no matter what. Cannot use that, but I got all 4 stockers back on. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video on fixing that problem. It is what it is, though. I knew I was in for a risk. I was hoping they would have lasted at least until tomorrow, but I guess those tires also kept me super low. Ugh. And I didn't want to be that low, because it was like, it was a good 2-inch drop from, you know, what it was. I actually scraped up on the speed bumps up here. And I don't scrape on speed bumps. I don't want my car that low. I want it low, but not that low. So I'm gonna be honest, I'm glad that it happened when it did, because I was gonna put these on and like fill them up with air last night and then drive home. And I'm really glad that I ended up waiting until today to do it, especially because daylight, I got to show you guys what they at least look like. And obviously this was gonna happen eventually, no matter what. So I'm just glad that it happened the way that it did, where it did, all that stuff. And yeah, that way I didn't put them on at the shop, because I was going to go to my dad's. We were going to balance them and then put them on. And I'm glad I didn't waste the time balancing them, considering that, like, yeah, they actually rode pretty decent. Believe it or not, there was no shake until about 67. And unfortunately, those tires were so small that at 75 mile an hour on the tack or on the speedo, I'm doing 65. So they were 10 mile an hour off at just 65. So imagine them at like 70, 75. This thing cruises 80, no problem. And that's what I want. I want a car that is smooth at 80 mile an hour. So hope you guys enjoyed. Don't worry. There will be a part 2 to this. I'll see you in another video. Take your guesses below what tires we're going to go with. But yeah, let's get it done.